right now the CBP1 app is 1,450 for per day for the whole border.
Oh my God! For the whole country.
For the whole country. For the whole border. Okay,
Went
so that's why people are so desperate to get across. So what's happening, from what I can tell, is rich people are using the coyotes and paying the cartel to get put on U.S. soil, so they skip the line, so they don't have to use CBP1 app.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Okay, I'm gonna call my sister.
Okay.
And see if she's there.
Alright, so we're gonna go head down and go to a neighborhood where Migration 2 folks will stay in safe houses. This will be indicative of the kind of places that once they come in from the airport, they'll be picked up and taken to, where they can chill for whatever, day 2, whatever it takes for the coyote to be ready to get them across. It's certainly not the kind of neighborhoods that we've seen. This is going to be some of Tijuana's nicest places, because Migration 2 folks are spending so much money. So just talked to you. She has a neighbor who is sheltering a bunch of the Chinese and other Asian migrants after they come from the airport and before they get taken to cross the border.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then that she has a lot of other houses?
She have, because she's rich, like.
So she makes potentially so much money off of sheltering the migrants that she buys more places to shelter more migrants.
I think she have a
business.
A business with the coyotes, who cross these people,
Okay. And maybe she does outreach to China to say, hey, if you want to come to the U.S., I'll help you book your ticket. I have a place for you to stay, and then I'll connect you with a coyote who can take you to the border, and then you can claim asylum. Okay. So what's happening when that happens? Normally, there's 1,500 or 2,500 people who are allowed per day. Right now, the CBP1 app is 1,450 for per day for the whole border.
Oh my God! For the whole country.
For the whole country. For the whole border. Okay, so that's why people are so desperate to get across. So what's happening, from what I can tell, is rich people are using the coyotes and paying the cartel to get put on U.S. soil, so they skip the line, so they don't have to use CBP1 app.
Oh yeah.
Okay. That's bad.
I know.
So, because here's what happens. The Migrant CBP can say, okay, we don't want you to come. We'll just automatically assume that you are illegal and we'll send you back. But they can't. They can't send them back to China because there's no return. China won't let them. In some cases. Mm-hmm. And so basically they have to process them. Even if they say they won't, they still have to, because they're there. And I think one reason, so Guardia Nacional basically makes sure that they don't come back into Mexico. Once they cross, they don't come back. Okay. They're like, no, you got to stay in the U.S. So, and then...
because I talked to one guy today, like one cab driver, a partner, I talked to him about you, and he said, that's kind of like a little danger. He said, well, not for me.
Yes.
Oh yeah, for you, for you. Maybe for me too, but not too much.
Well, Alfredo, I'm taking out anything that's unsafe that you say. I just cut it.
No, not because the videos, because spots that we went, you know, like if we go like over there, where we went by my house, if we go to the street that I told you, it's gonna be guys, you know, like,
hey, what are you doing? What are you doing?
Well, no. They just gonna
they
take pictures, or you know, and maybe
call the Guardia Nacional or something, because
maybe
I look like a migrant.
Maybe.
And if I haven't paid, they're like, hey, what's going on here?
Maybe they can call the Guardia, you know.
Yeah.
But
and then Guardia Nacional is not going to be happy that there's a reporter.
Yeah. That
makes sense.
Yeah, because this guy told me, like, because that, you know, like that kind of videos, like it's not gonna like it to like the government, you know. And I say, well, you know, I mean,
it's I'm being a little bit careful not to be critical of the government, but more just here's what's happening, you know, and it's not Mexico's fault that the migrants are coming to Mexico.
Yeah.
And so what I'm trying to show is, look, they're coming to Mexico because they want to come to the United States, because they think they can. And if the U.S. stops it, then there's not coming to Mexico anymore, and it's better for everybody.
Well, but you know, like, I don't see it like it's really, I don't think it's really danger, but we just gotta stay away from, like, you know, like spots that I really know
of course
they can do something, you know, like you know, like told say go away, you know, they're not gonna do nothing to us, but they're gonna tell us like, hey, you cannot be recording here, or, you know, like things like that. But nah.
No, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna tell you about one of my theories. Okay, I think that the cartels. Okay, let me back up. Fentanyl pills, azules, 30 cents in Phoenix.
30 cents?
30 cents.
What?
30 cents. Last year, 60 cents. Okay, 1 year ago, they were about 60 to 70 cents in downtown Phoenix. And now they're 30 to 50 cents. So the price is continually coming down.
What?
The addicts, the hardcore addicts, are typically doing 40 or 50 fentanyl pills a day.
Wow.
Because they're so cheap.
Damn.
Right? So for $3, you can get 10 pills. That's so cheap.
Yeah, I know. That's so bad.
Okay, so the other journalists have investigated, and it looks like primarily CJ&G, Jalisco, and Sinaloa are manufacturing the fentanyl from chemicals from China. Okay, so China brings the chemicals in. Sinaloa, CJ&G, they buy the chemicals, they make them into fentanyl. Then they export to the United States into all of the big cities. So all of the big cities in the United States have really cheap fentanyl, and the price is dropping everywhere.
Really?
Yes. That's why the addiction crisis is getting so bad in the U.S.
Damn.
I have friends working in addiction mental health, and they have clients in Phoenix who are doing up to 80 pills a day. It's okay, so there's something that doesn't make sense to me. The Sinaloa and Jalisco control the manufacture and distribution, the sales of fentanyl. I don't know why they keep pushing the price down. It doesn't make sense, because it's really bad for the people who are taking it, and they're dying. And even more than just dying, they're just burning their bodies out. And so one of the things that I'm concerned with is that somehow there's some reason for why the cartels are continuing to push as much fentanyl into the United States as they are. could have been at the very beginning, maybe 2015 or so was when fentanyl started being introduced to the United States, because this was when heroin was getting too expensive, too hard to produce, and it was after the pain pill thing was made illegal. So after pain pills, so around the year 2000, prescription opioids, or Vicodin, Percocet, these pain pills, they were prescribed to many more people than they should have. And so a lot of Americans got addicted to prescription painkillers. Okay, so in around 2010, the US government took action to shut down the pill manufacturers and stop people from being able to get prescription painkillers. So what people largely did is they moved to start using heroin. You saw a big increase in heroin production in Mexico to send to the United States. That was for about 5 years, maybe 2010 to maybe 2015, and then up to maybe 2017. But fentanyl started to get introduced by the cartels from China in about 2015.
Okay.
By 2019, the cost of fentanyl was the cheapest of any of the drugs. And so now you're in a spot where almost all of the other drugs don't exist in big cities anymore. The cost of fentanyl is so low that no one uses the other drugs. Okay. That would make sense if I'm the cartel and I'm wanting to get people addicted to fentanyl versus cocaine or opium or heroin, because it's more expensive to produce.
Yeah.
So I kind of want, if I'm the cartel, I want people to use the cheapest, easiest thing that I can get into the country, get manufactured and into the country. Now, China has a reason to want to get as many Americans addicted to fentanyl as possible, because it hurts the United States.
Yeah.
And China is the rival of the US. Okay. So if I'm drawing these connections correctly, if this is right, China wants the cartels to get fentanyl as cheap as possible.
So they can hurt the United States.
Right. They want the cartels producing as much and selling it for as cheaply as possible, because more and more addicts in the US means more and more social problems and people dying, and this is all stuff that will help China in comparison. Okay. What I don't understand is why the cartels are cooperating. Because it seems like the cartels could be charging $1 a pill, and it's still the cheapest high. The next most expensive drug, from what I understand, and I'm getting information from drug dealers and stuff in Phoenix, is methamphetamines, or meth, that costs about $3 for a high versus 30 cents for a high.
Damn.
Okay, so I think it should be possible to charge $1, and it's still 1/3 the cost of meth, which is the next most expensive, and then like heroin might be $10 to $12, and cocaine is probably 20 to 30.
Yeah, 20.
Right. And so the cartels should be able to charge 3 times as much as they're charging and not lose any customers. The customers will take less fentanyl, but they're spending the same amount of money. Okay, this means that the cartels don't have to manufacture as much. They don't have to buy as many precursor chemicals from China. They don't have to pay as many bribes to get the fentanyl across the border. They don't have to pay the distribution, the drug dealers in the US. So I don't understand why the cartels are doing this.
Probably because they want to get the most people they can addicted, to.
I don't think anyone new is getting addicted at this point. I think they hit peak addiction maybe during COVID. And now that it's after COVID, the price keeps going down and down. There's almost two different types of drug users. There's rich people who use drugs, and they'll never do fentanyl. It's just too bad, right? They want to keep doing a little cocaine, a little marijuana, maybe a little bit of heroin if they're really adventurous, but they're not going to start doing fentanyl. Okay, that drug market is not, the cartels will never be able to sell fentanyl to those people.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so it's the junkies, it's the addicts.
Yeah, the poor people.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And so I think it seems to me that the most poor people who will start doing fentanyl have already started. And now they're just killing people by making fentanyl so cheap. Okay, so that's my theory. I don't really understand why, other than...
I think probably that's a way too that they can rid of a lot of people.
But why does the cartel want to kill addicts? It seems like they would want to keep them alive so they can buy more drugs.
Yeah.
So my thinking is maybe China is paying the cartels.
Maybe
Maybe they know they're threatening to do something to the cartels if they stop. I don't know. It just seems like the cartels are doing something that doesn't make sense for them. If they're selfish, if they're wanting what's best for them, they would sell it for more expensive. So that's...
But you know what? Cartels have a lot of money coming anyways, you know, not just from fentanyl.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of people addicted to crystal here. Too many people addicted to crystal.
Yes.
You know? So, and that's like you say, that's not, I mean, it's cheap, but the less, like one high is like what, like $3.
Right.
So, they get, oh man, they sell that like
especially here in Mexico.
It's a lot of drug addicts
because drug addicts, so the cartels can't sell fentanyl here.
Right? I don't see that yet.
Okay.
You know, like
basically AMLO said no fentanyl in Mexico. Otherwise we'll get involved. Okay.
Oh shit.
Okay, so we're getting into a little bit wealthier, maybe, part of Tijuana?
Oh, yeah.
What's this neighborhood called?
This is called, well, you go this way, there is Guaycura.
Guaycura?
All that is Guaycura. And you go like this way, is like Los Lobos, and different neighborhoods,
Okay, so that's what I can't understand, because the two probably biggest issues in the United States right now are migration and fentanyl addiction. And it seems to me like they're both linked because the cartel is involved with both. So I have another possible theory. So an idea that I had was that maybe the money that the cartels are making from migration, maybe that's helping them pay bills so that they can get fentanyl cheaper and cheaper.
But okay, fentanyl you're talking about in the States.
Yes.
Because here, like you say, I saw some guys, you know, like, okay, I work in the border. So I saw some guys like going to specific places or specific houses. And they get, I think they get fentanyl. They don't get, you know. Because those are like weird
on
points.
The Mexican side?
Here in Tijuana. I take them to those places.
I see.
And those guys, they don't came for cocaine or crystal.
Because they could get that in Zona Norte. Wherever.
So so they go to some places, you know, like different
very
areas.
specific. They say this address. And then, and they go inside and then they come back out and you're like, oh, you just bought some drugs.
Well, you know, I don't know, because these guys stay there. So I don't know if they just get high there or you know. But it's weird. So because I never asked these guys what they use, you know. But it's weird to me because like I say, they don't get regular drugs from here. You know, they get something else. Probably fentanyl. I'm not sure.
Right. Okay. Well, in Zona Norte, it's possible to get almost anything, right?
Yeah, you
Cocaine
can get fentanyl too.
Heroin and
in some places, yeah.
Okay,
but they don't told you, you know, like you know, like
it's a lot easier
only to Americans. Only the Americans are allowed to talk to the people, you know.
I see.
Yeah.
But locals, they could get anything but fentanyl.
Yeah.
Or okay, and then you have to be American or foreigner maybe to be able to get fentanyl. I see. Okay, so that's probably a direct cartel connection. That's okay. Wow, that's really crazy.
Yeah, because like I say, you know, it's a lot of guys that came like in couple, like you know, like two, and they go to a specific address.
Yep.
We trap them there.
Yep.
So, and they look like addicts, you know, like drug addicts.
I see. Like, okay. Huh. That's a little bit strange because if it's so cheap in the U.S., why would they come to Mexico to do it?
That's what I was asking you.
Or maybe it's just that they are going to come less and less for that reason.
Or maybe I don't know if they came to get something else, not just fentanyl, you know. Like,
I see.
I don't know.
Okay.
You know, like something stronger. I don't know. Seems like they use. I don't know if it's maybe heroin. I'm not sure. You know, heroin or.
Is heroin available in Zona Norte?
Yeah, but not like.
Not really.
Not too much. You know, not like.
Because it's too strong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, they leave. See.
Gated. Yeah. Okay, so these are the types of communities that house the rich migrant shelters. You have folks who will come and buy residences as safe houses, and then I'm guessing they're likely also doing some amount of recruiting in the countries where the people can come from. So one of the things that I noticed was that when I was in Acumba and saw that big group of migrants come across, was just that it looked like there were two groups. We had just gotten to the gate and I had to get the camera off, but two groups. So one group was Chinese, clearly, and the other one was definitely Vietnamese. And the people in the groups seemed to kind of know each other within their own nationalities, but they definitely didn't seem to know the other folks insofar as it didn't look like really any of them spoke either, you know, the Vietnamese spoke Chinese or Chinese spoke Vietnamese. And so where they were interacting seemed to be in whatever broken English that they were speaking. Yeah, it was just interesting to be watching that interaction and know that, hey, these folks were kind of thrown together by circumstance rather than definitely traveling together in terms of the countries that they were coming from.
Yeah, I think in that corner over there. Oh no, not yet. Not yet. I think it's a Rio. Let me see the address. I think it's the next. Okay, the street is Calle Rio Tijuana. You see the houses?
Yeah, these are nice.
Expensive.
Yeah.
Calle Rio Tijuana.
Rio Tijuana.
Yeah, it's this one. So,
okay.
But it's this one. So.
Okay.
Yeah, you can be cool.
How much do you think these houses cost?
It depends, but you know, like, see, like they fix it, they put more money on it.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's yeah, we're gonna get to here.
Okay.
Fucking big house.
It's a big house.
Yeah. It's normal. Okay. Normally, it's like it's not too big, you know. It's like
my guess is if she's doing this with Chinese, there's probably people doing it with Turks, with Nigerians, with Muslims, you know, for different types of Arabs. And this is where the rich people come, is places like this. So
here in this neighborhood, nobody bothers them, you know, because as soon as they get through the gate, you know.
Everybody minds their own business.
Exactly.
Okay.
And you know, like they got safe, you know, like they got people watching for them, like police work for them, you know, everybody work for these people.
Because they pay enough money.
They got a lot of money.
If someone comes, I'll put my camera down.
No, it's okay. No, I think it's no problem, you know. Because like you say, there's some rich people here, you know. People, a lot of people live here, like business people, you know. Like they own business. You know. So that's why they live here. So it's security, you know, for them.
And probably higher up cartel people who want peace.
Exactly.
Security.
Or just rich people too, you know, they want to feel safe and. Okay, here's the Chinese house. This one.
Right here.
This one. I think all that fucking house is big.
Oh, it's a big compound.
It's a big compound.
With garages and.
And I don't know how many houses together, but you can look, you know, Chile's right here, so. But the Chinese, they live here.
Okay. Interesting.
See, they got a big fucking.
Them come in and out.
And sometimes they sell like the security, you know, like the cartel guys too come in here.
Okay.
See that house? That's the Chinese little house. You can tell, you know. See.
Looks like it's got a security system on it.
It's a fancy house.
It is. Okay. Well, interesting. So probably the minibuses will pull in and they'll get them in and then off they go.
The buses, the mini, they can come through.
Big buses, no, probably too
Not
big.
big buses, but you know, they don't use big buses, you know, they use, you know, the little ones, you know. They can go through anywhere.
Ethnic enclaves of wealthier people who live in sections of Tijuana while they're waiting, just safe house wise, to get transported to the border.
Some cartel guys live here, some, you know. Some,
well, it makes sense. When I was in Ciudad Juarez, I was able to get into a neighborhood like this with a friend who does work for rich people. And he was taking me through, and he was just pointing at the different cartel houses. He's like, that guy's cartel, that guy's cartel, that guy's. But it was in a gated community like this because he said cartel people want their kids to be able to run around and play and be secure, and
live good, you know.
Right, exactly. And so of course they're going to want to, you know, be in a neighborhood like this because they have the money to be able to pay for it. Exactly. But he said it's funny because, you know, you'll have the cartel and they live right next to the police chief or the judge or you know, and on some level, like, they know who they are and what they're doing.
And they know each other. They know each other, you know. They know each other. Like that Chinese girl. Sometimes police go there, not regular police, you know, like you know, like the big ones, you know. Like PGR, you know, like.
Like police chief type. Okay. Next to a nice park.
He look.
One funny thing about people in Mexico, when they see someone recording, they always do something funny.
Wants to go to you remember where I live?
She doesn't like going up there.
She don't like, Okay. And not because she don't wanna, just because she don't wanna go. Because sometimes she she have a nice cars too, you know. Yeah, and she don't wanna go driving.
Get robbed.
Those cars there and.
Robado.
Yeah, well, you know, and people start looking, you know, like, and they can get like kidnapped, you know, like
yes.
How do you say?
Yeah, kidnapped.
Yeah. So
is that common?
Yeah, people with money, they really have to watch where they go. You know?
Okay.
Yeah, where they go.
Wow.
Yeah, because
Would a journalist like me be a target for kidnapping?
No.
Okay.
No.
Just rich Mexicans?
Rich people, yeah. Well, you know, they know where they can get money, you know.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's...
Like, even, you know, like... but they like to be like, you know, like don't choke, like, you know.
They keep it on the DL.
Yeah. Yeah, because they have they own some problems, you know, like different things.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so
She has her rich car.
Yeah, they have different cars. Yeah, they have different cars.
So, okay, I have another thing that I'm worried about. Okay, migration 1, the poor people. Okay, after I left Tijuana 6 weeks ago, I continued to travel all the way along the border, all the way through Texas. There's almost no migration in Texas anymore. Almost none. A few Mexicans here and there. South and Central Americans, none. The Guardia Nacional, Ejército, state police, like Chihuahua, Tamaulipas, they're capturing all of the migrants and shipping them back down to Chiapas.
Really?
Yes. And so there's very few people trying to cross. So CBP, La Migra,
very few people from Central America and other places.
Yes, yeah.
Mexicans is the same migration all the time.
Yes,
you know?
all the time. But it's low level.
Okay,
right? It's just,
Probably those are the ones that are crossing now only.
Exactly, exactly. And so that's why the numbers are way down.
Okay.
But here's what I'm worried about. All of those people are being shipped back south to Chiapas.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that there's a big number of migrants who are building up over time. So since December, they haven't been allowed to come north, and they've just been shipping them south.
Back to Chiapas, you say?
Back to Chiapas, Guatemalan border. The city down there is Tapachula. Okay, so I think that people are still coming into Mexico, but they're getting stopped there in Chiapas.
Okay.
So I've talked to Mexican migrants who are coming north from Chiapas because there's no jobs. Because there's so many migrants.
They taking the jobs.
Yes.
Damn, yeah.
And so
that's bad.
I think that there may be possibly 2, 3, 4, 5 million people in Chiapas.
Damn.
Just waiting. So I think that there was a deal between Alejandro Mayorkas, he's the Department of Homeland Security, so Biden administration, Secretary of State Anthony Blinken, and AMLO in December, because there was 300,000 people that tried to cross in December.
Okay.
And then in January, 150. It was half. And then February, 120. March, 110. So it's just been going down. So it keeps dropping.
Yeah.
But that's because I think that there's just a bigger and bigger number of people in Chiapas. And that as soon as the U.S. election is done, we're going to see Claudia Sheinbaum will be president then, and she's going to let them all go. Come north.
Okay.
So, say 3 or 4 million people are going to come north to the border.
It's going to be
in like 2 months.
It's going to be crazy.
Yes. So I think that the deal that AMLO made with the Biden administration because there was the election in June for Mexico, and the election in November for the U.S., I think that they agreed to make sure that the border was calm.
Oh, okay. Look, made people think like, oh, now it's in control, like the border is in control.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's hard, man. That's hard because we know Trump is gonna win. It doesn't matter what Mexico do.
Trump may get assassinated.
Yeah, right? That's what I'm saying. Even before that, we know Trump is gonna win.
They might try again. Trump might still die, right? Yeah. In which case, it seems to me that the Morena party, so AMLO, Claudia Sheinbaum, will have an easier time getting along with Biden. I think, but I don't know. What do you think? Do you think Trump will have an easier time with Claudia?
I think it's, they have to get along. They have to work things out.
They have to get along.
Yeah,
yes.
They have to. So it's just like I say, Trump just talk a lot of shit. Like.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah,
okay.
But he just want to get the votes.
Okay. So then, what I don't understand, if this isn't a favor that AMLO is doing for Biden, why is Mexico spending millions and millions of pesos making sure that the migrants stay south? That doesn't make sense unless AMLO really wants Biden to win. Because if the border is a mess, if it's chaos, if there's lots of migrants, that helps Trump way more than it helps Biden.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You think?
Yeah, okay, I know now what you're saying, Yeah.
So it's possible that AMLO is saying, okay, Biden, I like you more than I like Trump. So I'm going to spend money to make sure that nobody gets to the border except the rich people who are bribing.
And the Mexicans.
And the Mexicans, they can't stop them.
Yeah.
Mexicans have free travel.
Yeah, they're not going to stop us.
Yeah. Right.
So, it's hard. It's hard.
Well, okay. So Mexico actually benefits from remittances, from money that Mexicans go to the U.S., they work, they send money back.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever do that when you were working in Washington?
Yeah.
You sent money here?
Yeah.
Okay. So Mexico, about 5 or 6% of the Mexican economy is remittances from the United States. So it makes sense that Mexico would want there to be money coming back in. And so Mexico doesn't really stop Mexican migrants from crossing into the U.S. because that's just money that can come back eventually to Mexico. Okay. All right, so I'm not crazy. That does make sense. Is it part of certain parts of Mexican culture, maybe poor villages, that they send some people, hey, you need to go to the U.S., make money, send it back here because there's not a lot of jobs or economic opportunity?
What happens is like everybody in Mexico have somebody related in the United States, cousin,
or
brother,
good friends, or
good friend, So if you wanna go there, you just call them or contact them and make sure like they're gonna help you to pay the coyote, because that's the most important thing,
right?
You need to have money to pay the coyote.
Even after they get across, after they start working, though, is it seems to me there's enough poor villages in maybe central Mexico or southern Mexico that it makes sense that maybe 1 out of every 3, 1 out of every 10 people comes north to work in the U.S. or maybe comes north to work in the maquilas, or so they can send money back to the village because it's so poor and there's no opportunities there.
It's like Chiapas, Oaxaca, you said.
Okay.
That's Oaxaca, Chiapas, maybe Veracruz, Guerrero.
Yeah.
All those states. Most people who work here in the factories come from those states.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they are really poor there.
Yes.
So they come here and we're in a factory make to like 2,500 pesos. That is like $150 a week. That's good money for them, you know.
Yes.
So they start sending money to.
I see.
Yeah.
I see. Okay.
Or you know, like they save money, they buy more property there. Or
Yes.
some people just move here, you know. They just you know,
right.
like they think, oh, here's better life.
Yeah.
You know, so we're gonna buy we're gonna rent here for a few years and then we're gonna buy a little property, or you know. Like,
Yeah. Okay.
So.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Huh.
Because people who go to the States, you need to have somebody there to help you to pay the coyote.
Right.
A really poor people, they cannot afford that.
Yes,
You know, they cannot put together $10,000 to pay the coyote. You know.
Yes. Okay.
It's hard to put together $10,000.
Right.
For poor people. It's real hard.
So, do you think that there's places along the border where it's much cheaper to cross than here in Tijuana? I mean, if it's $10,000 here in Tijuana, maybe in Arizona or where there's not many people.
I don't know how much they charge there, but here is like the minimum is like $9,000.
I see. Okay.
You know, even in the hardest way, you know, like because something you have to walk like 2 days, 3 days, you know.
Yeah.
So that's the minimum they charge.
And that's dollars, not pesos.
Dollars, yeah, $9,000.
Okay. Yeah. Huh. Well, so that means border crossing is a big business for the cartel. Border crossing is a big business.
Oh yeah. Big money for this.
Yeah. Okay. And that is interesting also that poor people can't afford, poor Mexicans can't afford
to pay that.
So they just get stuck.
They just come here
and work in the maquilas instead.
Mm-hmm.
Which is still a better job than back at home.
Them. Yeah, better life for them too.
Maybe not quite as good of a job as in the US.
Yeah.
Is it possible that they come up here and work in the maquilas while they're getting a visa for the US to be able to travel in?
That's another thing. Yeah, that's that's interesting too. Because they come here, they work in the maquila for a year or 2 years, and then they apply for the visa. And a lot of people get the visa.
Yes.
And then they go.
They can start going across to work. I see.
A lot of people with visa go work there every day. You know?
Yep. Okay.
So.
Alfredo, you are a very knowledgeable person.
I'm a taxi driver.
I'm lucky I got to meet you.
Yeah. 13 years in the taxi, man.
Yep.
We know pretty much everything.
Everything, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so you introduced me to one of your friends who spoke English a month ago.
Yeah.
He grew up in Southern California. He went to high school.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that was
but I think he was illegal, you know. I think, he's illegal. He don't have papers.
I see. So eventually he came back.
Yeah, he got deported. Yeah, I think he was drug addict too.
Oh.
That guy was drug addict.
But not anymore?
Not anymore.
Okay, good. Wow.
Yeah. He's clean for like 10 years now.
Wow, okay. Yeah. Good. It can be done.
Yeah.
You hear that, America? You can quit the habit. So it's actually kind of funny because my channel's starting to grow quite a bit. People are interested in what I'm seeing at the border. You know, especially places that are interesting like Tijuana, Ciudad Juarez, Matamoros, you know, places like that where I'm getting some really interesting footage.
Yeah.
And so, I'll keep doing this. This is fun. I enjoy it.
Yeah, it's interesting, you know, and you good too because you're not scared.
Well, yeah, that's the thing.
You know, because you draw here like a Mexican, you draw here like a, you know.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Nice side, you driving here, so where this guy is going, you know, like, and then you're gonna pay for parking and not.
No, fuck that. I'm too cheap for that.
I know this guy's smart, you know, because he knows where to park.
Yep, you find a busy street. Yep, that's exactly.
A good spot, because that's good spot.
That was a good spot.
Yeah.
Enough traffic. It's not. It's not bad.
Yeah. You don't have here like like police watching the cars. You know, you can leave your car here anywhere. You know,
yes.
Nobody's gonna care. You know?
Yep, exactly.
So I thought in the beginning I thought you say you're gonna leave it in the park.
I see.
But
no, this is.
Yeah, see, there's your car.
There it is. No problems.
No problem, man.
Oh man. Okay.
Thank you,
Fredo.
Yeah.
Thank you, my friend.
Yeah, thank you, man.
So I stopped in here to the Otay side of the border. So we've got Otay crossing basically right here. And then panning across, you can see the wall, Tijuana on the other side. And then it goes up into the hills. We've got a little bit of a fog layer that's burning off. It's early in the morning. But up over those hills, maybe one more set of hills, will be that spot where we went with Alfredo to go see where there's that opening in the border wall. And this would be the direction that everybody would walk, I would assume, once they get through. To go hoof it cross country is quite a ways further, plus a lot more mountain climbing and stuff. So getting across and then just kind of shadowing the patrol road, you could be here into this industrial park area, which is actually getting expanded further down this direction. But you could be in this industrial park area pretty quick. So I filmed all of that, walked back to my car, turned around, and CBP. So I'm going to go up and chat with them and see if I can learn anything about what's going on here. So actually, as I'm walking, I can see we've got some discarded clothing, some Monster Energy drinks, some toiletry stuff. This is pretty classic for the kinds of things that the migrants will shed as they're kind of getting across the landscape, especially if they're going to be catching a ride or getting into town and they don't want to have to be carrying a whole lot of stuff. And yeah, I mean, there's a decent amount of kind of empty water bottles, empty drink containers, pieces of clothing. So I'm guessing that this is a route which folks are taking in once they cross further up in the hills there in Tijuana. So at the traffic lights, some of the longer ones anyway, you'll get these magic performers that have their act like precisely perfectly timed to be able to figure out, you know, how much time is between. And we see one there, he's juggling, he's balancing. Here we've got this guy who is doing an amazing balancing act, ball on head. We've got, and juggling. Holy crap, look at this. Look at this. Oh. Okay, doesn't always make it, but I mean, I can't imagine. That is just crazy. So he's got it timed so that, you know, traffic coming in from the other direction, and then he can be out of the way by the time the light turns green. All in one go. Okay. Magnifico. And got something from one of the cars. He's got a little bit, so was worthwhile. Bueno, gracias.
No, aquí, gracias.
¿Y cuál es tu nombre?
Daniel.
Daniel, soy Jesse.
Ok, Jesse.
Mucho gusto. Sí. Just a little bit of street culture from Tijuana.